Hello, everyone. I am Adam CDO at Demiplane, and thank you for joining me for another development update and community Q&A session. We have got some exciting news for today. So just by way of agenda, we are going to announce a new Nexus, and then we're going to get into the latest updates for Pathfinder Nexus, what's upcoming on the roadmap, and then you can ask me questions. So at any point during the stream, we have a magical robot that is collecting all your questions from chat. All you have to do is type the word question and then proceed with the question in chat, and it will collect all of those, and I will get to as many as I have time for at the end. So without any further ado, I want to get into a very, very special announcement. Let's roll it. So as you can see, we are going to be releasing the Marvel Multiverse role-playing game Nexus on Demiplane. Very, very excited about everything. Let's see if I can do this. Let's see. That, yes. Yeah. Very excited about everything that is going to be happening with Marvel Multiverse role-playing game. This is something that for me, one of my first experiences with role-playing was the old TSR Marvel game, Face Rip, as people affectionately call it. So that was incredible. I loved Marvel Saga, the Saga edition of that had the cards. So many good times playing that Marvel heroic role-playing. So there's been so many different RPGs over the years for these Marvel characters that are just so near and dear to me. And I am thrilled to be able to share the news that Demiplane is going to be providing high quality digital support for this from the very, very start of the playtest even. So this is really exciting. I don't know how often this has actually happened where there is the digital support in place for a game that is this early in the development with this playtest phase going on. So it's going to be really handy as you are trying out the game. We can't wait to get into, of course, the digital reader. So you're going to have everything for the playtest rulebook in the digital reader. You'll be able to see all the tooltips and cross-linking, high resolution maps, anything that might be in that book, you're going to be able to see it. It's over 120 pages of content there. And then we will have a game compendium that will have all of the different mechanics. We're not going to talk about any of those things happening there with the digital. So very, very exciting news that we are really pleased to share today. You can pre-order the playtest rulebook now at demiplane.com/Marvel RPG. So check that out, and really looking forward to everything. And so if you missed it, I'll use my time stone here and rewind time, and you can actually go and probably see it all over our social media accounts right now. So you can check out the trailer and you can go pre-order the playtest rulebook now. Super thrilled about that. And we are going to it's going to be, I'm going to have to come down from that high. I'm such a big Marvel fan. I'm so excited about this. But then we're going to get into some other exciting things. All right, so here we go. Getting into the rest of what is happening. So on the Pathfinder Nexus front, we have another exciting update that this week we have released Troubles in Otari, which is a really exciting adventure that I'm a big fan of. I love the beginner box adventure, and this is kind of something that can flow out of that. And so if you haven't checked out that adventure, you can do so now on pathfindernexus.com, and you'll also be able to see very soon. We've got some others on deck. The Slithering almost made it for today, but not quite. So I'm pretty sure that one's going to be in before next week. And then we have Malevolence, and again, we're continuing to work through all the standalone adventures there, and we're going to be able to get to where we are completely caught up with those pretty soon. And then we are working on the character engine. So this is, of course, initially for Pathfinder Nexus. So everything that's happening with the character engine is going to be platform level. So we're going to get Pathfinder working. And if you are a Pathfinder fan, you probably are aware that if we can get this working for Pathfinder, it is going to be much smoother sailing as far as complexity goes, getting it working for any of the other games out there. And I don't say that in a bad way. I love Pathfinder 2nd Edition and the options that are available, but there are so many different types of rules and so many elements that add more fun to the games for those that enjoy that kind of a complex game. And again, I am one of those people, and so it is a perfect proof of concept for us as we get into the character engine that is going to power the character builder for Pathfinder Nexus and the digital character sheet for Pathfinder Nexus. And then you will see that also being used as an engine for all of the other Nexuses, is what I'm going to go with anyway. I still don't know if we fully settled the debate, but we're going to say Nexuses. And so it's going to be really exciting to see, and the team is really hard at work on that right now, and I can't wait to start showing off some more of that soon. All right, let's talk about upcoming. And on the upcoming front, Pathfinder Nexus roadmap, just where we are kind of showing this each week. The adventures are in progress for the digital reader. The game compendium is out there. We've got a few other game compendium types of elements, game elements that are going to be coming before too much longer. Some of the internal support for being able to create some of those has actually been completed internally. So now we've got to go in there and start entering this. And by this, I mean things like conditions, hazards, some of the things that currently aren't in the game compendium. Those are going to be there. And as I said, we are working on the character management piece of that. Digital sheet is in a white status, which kind of means that we haven't touched it yet, and that needs to be updated. So that's my fault there. It is certainly at this point in that gold or yellow or orange or whatever color that is status, because we are deep into the designs of this. We are figuring the things out, and we have started some of the development there. So can't wait for you to see more of that soon. And then on the Marvel Multiverse role-playing game Nexus, we are going to have that digital reader and game compendium be available next week on April the 20th, which is the release date for the playtest rulebook. So all of that is going to happen next week. And then also keep in mind on the upcoming status, I don't have this on the screen for you to look at, but next week's development update, so that would be the 19th at 9 a.m. I had to do time zone conversion in my head. I'm in Central Time, so 9 a.m. Pacific, so same time next week. I'm going to be joined by the writer and one of the designers of the Marvel Multiverse role-playing game, Matt Forbeck. And so Matt is a great guy. I can't wait to talk to him more about what's going on with this game. And so he's going to join me here on the dev update, and we're going to talk more on the 19th about the game. So that is when some more details about the game itself can maybe start coming out next week on the 19th. So join me next week with Matt Forbeck as my guest. Looking forward to that. All right, so let's see what we have for questions. All right, so Recame Adophilis, April 20th, yes. So I am assuming that you're not just simply asking April 20th as a generic question, because I'm sure many things have happened on April 20th throughout the history of humankind, but the huge event that is happening on April 20th this year is going to be the Marvel Multiverse role-playing game is going to release. So you can pre-order now, but as soon as the 20th rolls around, which is actually like midnight Pacific time, I think, that is when that is going to go live on the Marvel Multiverse role-playing game Nexus. And you'll be able to see what's going on with that playtest rulebook. You'll be able to dive into all those hero profiles, and you'll be able to get into all the arguments about why your character's profile is not as powerful as this other character's profile. All of the things that comic and superhero fans love to do. So all of that is going to start next week on April the 20th. Anchor 89, will Nexus have a shared loot manager? That is a great question, and it is something that has certainly been on our list. It's something that I can't tell you exactly when we're going to get to that, but I think that our entire team understands how useful that is, and how good that would be to be able to have a situation where a game master can share something with a group queue and then let people pull it from that group queue. Things like bags of holding that might be accessible through the group inventory. So all of those things are absolutely on the list. They will not be part of the first pass of what we release in the full release for Pathfinder Nexus, but they are going to be, it is something on the list and something we want to get to. Phoenix D Black, can we remove the My Sources tab if we already own all the sources? I'm not exactly sure what you mean by the tab there. So I don't think that if you're talking about like the page of coming to My Sources, which I think could be a tab as well. If you're talking about that, we wouldn't be removing that, because right now My Sources is a place where you can get to all of your books. Now, if you're talking about a way to browse those, which we have the My Library feature that you can also get to the books over there. Sources is just its own dedicated page for that. So right now it is doubling also as a store and a place that you can buy those books, but we don't necessarily have any plans to get rid of that, because it's good for discoverability for people looking for whatever books they might be wanting to unlock. And so I am not exactly certain what you're getting at, the root cause of what you're asking in that question. And so would love to understand more. So if you want to share that in our forums or on Discord, we can certainly look into the motivations behind that to make sure that we understand. And then we will definitely respond to that feedback and see what we can do there. So XMally28, any rough idea for the Vampire the Masquerade V5 early access date? I definitely have a rough idea, but that is not public yet. And so what I will do is I'm going to smirk into the camera and I'm going to say that you won't have to wait too much longer to know more about what's going on with World of Darkness. It's going to be soon. All right, there we go. So yes, soon we are going to have more information about what's going on with World of Darkness. We cannot wait for World of Darkness Nexus to get off the ground. We have all the content. We are digging into it. We are very energized and excited, which are two words that maybe don't fit that setting of World of Darkness incredibly appropriately. But we're really looking forward to getting into that, and you won't have to wait too much longer before we have more to share on that front. Anchor 89, can the compendium have a link for all the tables in Pathfinder that can be spread between books? By table, I am going to assume that you mean the actual, kind of dark red header, alternating beige, actual tables that get like a table designation. And that's an interesting idea. A little bit of concerns about context for some of that. And so it's certainly something that I've had discussions about before over the years about, how useful that is and how that can, be the most useful that it could be. And I'm not exactly sure that we have completely solved it yet, but it's something that we can certainly continue to think through. And if that's something that people want to see out there, letting us know about it is absolutely a great way for us to put more priority on that. Kato Flex, who is your favorite Marvel character? Wow, you are really trying to make me fight with myself right now. But no, generally, there are going to be different phases of my life, and this is why Marvel's been so important to me. Is it's almost like I can track where I was in life at different ages in my life by which character I was gravitating toward or which one was the most important to me at the time. Marvel just means that much to me. But I definitely will say that when I was a kid, the favorite Marvel character was 100% Spider-Man. Not even a contest. I was introduced to superheroes through the X-Men. So there was a brief stint there that, everything was Wolverine. The X-Men, the animated series was a massive part of my childhood. And so big Wolverine and Gambit fan. But then, when I started reading more comics, really started coming into Spider-Man. And I would say in my teenage years, this is where I got I got caught up with some really good Daredevil runs. And so Daredevil, high school into college, probably favorite character. Depending on what day you ask me, I'll say Daredevil today. But I think as I've gotten older as an adult, I would say, and especially with everything that the MCU has done for Marvel and these characters, absolutely a huge Captain America fan, and so really like Cap. So he is probably my favorite if you ask me today. But I love Thor as well. So I have adored the Jason Aaron run on Thor, and some of the stuff's going to come out in a future movie soon. So love so many of these characters, but those are at least some of my favorites that I've had over the years. XMally28, any new info on the expected Vampire the Masquerade pricing options? If we'll be seeing discounts or access to materials through accounts via Renegade or Drive-Thru RPG. No news that we can share or pricing options to share at this stage, but I can tell you that we are committed to keeping the price as low as we can for fans out there according to what we are able to do with our license. And so we're exploring as many options as we can, and we will share more on that front very soon. Recame Adophilus. Are there any plans to upgrade the sorting of the My Library shelf? It's getting cluttered and the order is weird to me. I'm sorry that it's weird to you. Right now, I'm sure that we are using some kind of logic that seems to make sense to us. If you want to explain more of what you would like to see there, that would be very helpful to us. But currently, as of the very short-term roadmap, there is nothing planned for the sorting of that. Now, longer term, we do see that as expanding and having much more functionality as we add new nexuses. You'll want to be able to organize your shelf, and we understand that, and we're going to provide tools for you to be able to do that. Our Darkade. I know this was super secret, but I was assuming the order you had made the announcements was roughly the order things would release. Is that so, or are things changing a lot in the schedule? This is a great question, and it gives me a perfect opportunity to talk through the way that this all works. So a little bit of getting into the factory on this. The order of announcements is not really at all connected to the order that things will release. And that is because development and getting a product ready is one swim lane. It's one thing that is happening, and it's the team is working really, really hard. We've made a lot of progress with Pathfinder, and we're making progress on several other fronts. Some of the fronts that we're progressing on right now, you still don't know about because of the second part of what I was going to say. There's another swim lane that is the partner agreements, licensing management, and then the PR or promotional aspects of when announcements occur. So all of those things are factors that go into this, and it does not indicate the order that things are being developed. It does not indicate when you will end up seeing things, because, for instance, Marvel, as it exists in the playtest, is going to go live next week, and you're going to be able to start using that. And we just announced that here today. And so again, the announcement order is not the order that things are necessarily being developed. But I can tell you that if we have indicated targets for any of the nexuses that we have announced, which we have for all, I'm trying to make sure I don't overcount here because there are several we haven't announced yet. So let's see, it would be the 4 that we have announced at this point in time. With all of those, we have indicated that they would be coming online this year, and there is nothing that has changed about that timing. Nothing at all has changed on that timing. So, but really excellent question, and like I said, it's not a simple path that we're just walking straight down and we announce, and then that's the order that we're working on them. Deals, some of these deals have been signed possibly months ago, and we are just going to get to announcing them when the timing is right, between all the parties involved, etc. So lots and lots of factors. Doesn't mean that is an indication of the schedule. All right, let's see. Cassius 335 Marvel Multiverse Chaos live stream win. I missed those rolls. Yeah, we'll see what we can do, but no current plans for that. Anchor 89 Hulk versus T-Rex. Yeah, I mean, you got to go with Hulk. Strongest there is. T-Rex would put up a little bit of a fight, but then Hulk would make quick work of our T-Rex, I'm afraid. Wisdom of Wombats. Is there a way to change the email address of a profile? This is more of a support question. So been addressed in chat is what I'm being told, and that is wonderful. Thank you, Megan, Josephine, any of our moderators out there. Thank you for that. They do excellent work, and I'm glad that we got that taken care of. Phoenix D Black, which one changes faster, your favorite Marvel character or your favorite dinosaur? Now that is That is a really excellent question, and I feel like it is low key throwing some kind of shade. Do people say shade anymore? My kids were so upset last night when I said something was fire because I say those things to irritate them, and so now it irritates them because they say that that's outdated for some reason. But anyway, I feel like you're saying that that I am mercurial in my choices, and the way that I like to look at it is on a spectrum. So it's like it's okay to like a whole lot of things, and I like a whole lot of things, and it's just what am I feeling that week or that season in my life, and so I would say that it's probably pretty similar between Marvel characters and favorite dinosaurs. It really is just what I'm feeling right there. Cap or Iron Man, there is no question whatsoever that this is Cap. I will easily go on record there and say that Tony Stark is dangerous and irresponsible and irreverent, and it's Cap all day long for me. I just made some people really mad out there, and that's okay. Let's talk about it on forums. Anchor 89, will you have Deadpool's stats? Can't answer any of those questions about the game yet, but you'll see starting next week. D4 Dustin, hey Dustin, what character are you most excited to play in the Marvel RPG? I feel like that is also a little bit of a tricky thing for me to confirm what's going to be there. So I'm going to caveat this by saying that my choice is actually not going to say is not going to confirm either way whether that character actually exists, because one of the things that this game is going to do that's been released out there into the public is it's going to let you create your own character out there. So again, my answer here does not confirm or deny anything that's going on, but I definitely would say that right now it's probably going to be Cap. Dustin might be asking this because we have played some home games, non-streamed games. Those do still happen occasionally for some of us. But we were playing a home game, and we were playing Marvel characters using 5e, like some 5e hacks out there, and it was a complete blast. But I got to play Cap for a few sessions. I came at the end of that, and it was a ton of fun. 10 out of 10 would recommend. And now we're going to be able to do that with, its own system here with the Marvel Multiverse role-playing game. Really looking forward to it. All right, Blood Scars. Are the plans to add free systems like basic fantasy RPG? That is a really great question, and I think that the way that I can answer that is we want the Nexus platform to be an open playground, at least as we progress over time. And so I think that it is very reasonable to assume that something like that would be provided at some point down the road. Obviously, I can't give you any kind of timelines for that right now, but I think it's the kind of thing that would be very reasonable to see on the platform at some point in the future. X Mally 28, another World of Darkness one. I can't recall. Is there a Hunter the Reckoning Nexus in development? The source book releases later this year. That is a great question, and I had to do a mental checklist as I was reading the question to make sure that I am not that I am revealing information that has already publicly been revealed. And so I can say that yes, Hunter the Reckoning is going to be supported on World of Darkness Nexus, and I can't guarantee that it's going to be available by the street date of when Hunter the Reckoning is going live, but I can tell you that would be something that generally would be very important to us, and so it's one of those things that we're probably going to give it a real honest college try on. But either way, Hunter the Reckoning is absolutely going to be supported, and you can see that if you go to worldofdarknessnexus.com. You can see that at this stage we have announced, just as the World of Darkness team has announced that of course there's Vampire the Masquerade, Hunter the Reckoning. We also have Werewolf on the way in the future. Those are all games that we intend to support. Agent Demas, what if any plans for online support for Marvel? I'm not exactly sure what you mean by online support, because what we are doing with the Marvel Multiverse role playing game Nexus is definitely online support. So you can play on Demiplane. It lends itself really well to playing in person or virtually online. So we've got video portals that you can connect. Think Zoom, but then it's made specifically for RPGs. So I am currently streaming from one of those portals. So all of our Demiplane streams, we stream from our video portals, and we've got chat, we've got other adventure tools that you can use, we've got dice rolling. So all of those things can happen in the Marvel Multiverse role playing game here on Demiplane. Anchor 89, BattleTech Nexus. that's an excellent idea. There are no current plans for that, but who knows what the future will hold. It looks like I got through all of the questions, and we are right at our time. So I'm going to give myself a gold star sticker for the day. I'm sure my wife's got one lying around here somewhere, and I'm going to go beg her for one now. But I hope all of you have a wonderful, wonderful week, and we will see you back here next week with Matt Forbeck to talk a little bit more about the Marvel Multiverse role-playing game. And check out the Nexus on Demiplane, demiplane.com/Marvel RPG. You can pre-order the playtest rulebook now. You'll be able to dig into that digitally next Wednesday. I believe that is April the 20th. Looking forward to it. Later, Gators.